Speaking of songs not meant to be played live, the Ghost River. It's way too many parts in it to ever be played live by less than 7 guitarists. So the Ghost River in the book, wind and rivers get kind of talked about as like the same entities. And that's because of how we see them in the story. So we feel them as wind, here on our plane, but on the astral plane, you can see them as rivers of light in the sky. Tying all these emotions of each of the rivers to make them feel more human, but still feel fantastical. Like I wanted to tie everything to nature. So, rivers and wind, like we understand as, shadow and light, like all these things that play in what we consider divinity in this series. And what the Ghost River is kind of like the river of all rivers, and the story is portrayed as, the river of souls. And that's where we're getting our energy from to pilot these bodies we're in, I guess. And, we are kind of understood metaphorically as fish in the water. Our life is when the fish jumps out of the water, and here we are living, and then we go back into the river, and that's when our life's over. And then the motif of this book is when you jump out once, you get a taste for it. Maybe you'll jump back out again, have another life, and another life. So it's kind of like this cycle of, fish jumping out of the river to, bring home the metaphor of that kind of life cycle, So when I was writing this, I wanted it to feel close to nature and feel like that river. So like the very intro of the song is like, what's life feel like? Maybe you're on a raft, not necessarily jumping out of the river. Like what does it feel like to just be hanging out around the river? So it's got that, kind of cadence of just kind of hanging out on a river, but letting life take you where it's going to take you.
It's streams of kaleidoscope like northern light, swirling colors and bands.
From there, you get to experience, as it slips into like the chorus. Feel some of the drama and some of the things that happen through your life that make you, feel a different way. I like to think of Milan's part there that he's singing, that verse that he's singing on.
Your twins on the inside, the dogs on the out. Pisces wishing you were Gemini.
That's kind of like the fast forwarding through somebody's life to really like see like what's going on and all the different. It's got that cool like little funk guitar that I hated at first, but eventually grew to like.
6 times the malaria has come down the pike. You don't recognize your brother's threat.
It brings me probably to the weirdest part I've ever written, which is very like folky. 5 guitar parts. I don't even know what the key signature is. I didn't pick a key signature when I wrote it. I just wrote exactly what it sounded like in my head, and it couldn't just be one part. It had to be a layer.
Don't forget the time you spent. Don't forget the words she said. Here we lie, below stars and sky, dreaming thoughts to grow old and wise.
I mean, for me, I was able to draw on a lot of the themes of your book to write a song. You know, when you're zeroing in on 40 in the midlife crisis, you know, section of your existence. I thought it would be interesting to write a song about death from not only a perspective where you could pull from your book, but a perspective of positivity. I've been writing songs about death from this negative, antagonistic standpoint forever, but I loved the idea. What an epic miracle it is that we get to exist. Like, that we get to be sentient beings, that we're floating around as atoms in stardust, and at some point we get to collect those atoms themselves in a way that we get to be sentient. And we get to be around other atoms and cells and people that get to be sentient at the same time. We get to love these people and have all these experiences and actually have this unique perspective of existence. And it's only for this short time before our souls belong to the river again. This river is like the cosmos, and I thought it was this kind of very beautiful way to look at existence, and I'm super proud of it.
Just taking a breath at the surface to go back down.
You guys think all the parts work? Like,
Yeah.
everything's gonna fit?
Yeah.